Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, man. If it's a day called today, we're talking guitars and life. I gotta tell you, man, there's not a better snack when working on a guitar than leftover cold boneless buffalo wings. Man, what a treat. Okay guys, we're back and I have some locking tuners. And man, through the years, haha, nope, it's only been months. It just feels like years. I know, we watch your videos. Anyway, so yeah, I have used a Music Lily locking tuners. I have used Guyker, and I may or may not know a guy who has a discount code for Guyker products in the description of his videos, like this one. But I am on a little bit of a time, well, we'll call it a time schedule, because the year is ramping up and I am going to begin traveling soon, and I'm going to run out of time for projects. So I went with what I could get quicker, didn't spend as much money. Music Lily Guyker, Music Lily Pro, and I'm talking locking tuners, Guyker locking tuners, and these are all comparable in price, but fastest shipping wins sometimes, my friends. And so I went once again with the SAPHUE, SAPHUE super machine heads. 18:1 gear ratio, man. I put these in my last Tease guitar. First time trying them, and found them to be pretty good. So, we're going to give them a shot on the old TEMU guitar. And yeah, man, I don't know that you guys need me watch me do this, but I will just talk through it. Those of you who hang on the channel know that locking tuners are my thing. You do not need locking tuners. There are other ways to lock your guitar strings without mechanisms, but this is my preference, and I'll say it again. Everything, guys, and I'm saying everything in guitar and guitar playing is, guess what? Player preference, man. You do you, man. I mean, don't let anybody rent space in your head about what you dig, man. If you dig it, do it. That's what I say. Nothing I'm doing on this channel is ever going to be prescriptive to you, although it will always be descriptive of my journey, and that is the extent of things, Jack. I'm not trying to tell anybody else how to live with regard to guitars, and yeah, man, I'm just documenting life, as it were. That being said, for those of you who are new to all this and new to the channel, hey man, if this is your first time hanging out with us, welcome, man. We'd love to have you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to do that kind of thing, Jack. Come back and hang out anytime with us at Ted Talks Guitars and Life. So yeah, the main thing when you're looking at replacement tuners is to make sure that you get tuners, one, that'll fit, and two, that will align with your pre-existing holes, unless you feel so as inclined as to fill holes and re-drill holes. And if you want to do all that, rock on with your bad selves. So yeah, so these tuners, they really kind of descriptive of how they go. So let me throw these screws in here and we'll talk some more. Well, we're making short work of this, aren't we? I believe that we are. How's your day going, man? Man, I hope that whatever it is you're doing today, wherever it is you find yourself, that you are surrounded by people that you love and appreciate, man. People that are supportive of you and champion you, man. That's what I would say. And that you are doing stuff that you dig, man. Enjoying life. Life is too short, my friends, not to have good friends and do what you dig, man. So, yeah. Oh, hey, by the way, update. Bonus screw. Hey. Yeah. Alright, let's flip this bad boy over. And let's do the front. So yeah, these tuners, that I put them on the Tease ST1, one of the Tease ST1s that I have, and they worked out really well for me. So, I mean, you know, man, you think a guy with a channel code would buy more Guyker stuff, but you know what, man? It's all about the shipping, man. For me, it's all about the scheduling. So yeah, 10mm extension socket, super cheap. Sure, I got it on Amazon. I have no idea really when or how much it cost. Hey man, those of you who hang on the channel with me, like been here around a while, let me ask a question, man. I've been working on editing videos, clearly, where I edit out, like a 15-minute segment becomes, you know, a minute. And I try not to talk as much. What do you guys think, man? I mean, you prefer that? Shorter vids where I just kind of offer cliff notes, or longer videos where I actually do step by step, and of course I talk. I mean, I'm always going to talk. That's if I shortchange anything, it's going to be you watching me do stuff, not the talking, Jack. So yeah, a couple of thoughts just before I flip this bad boy over. I have a bone nut coming from Music Lily. I actually bought a pack of them. Again, shipping being what shipping is. I would usually put a Graphtec nut in, but I don't have that kind of time. So I've got bone nut coming. We'll do that next when it arrives. And I did not put the shim back in the neck pocket because I filed down the neck pocket and the back of the neck, and I'm going to see if I can do it, get away with that without the shim. So yeah, that is what I'm thinking about doing. Let me tighten these screws up. Okay, well, I got everything tightened down, and I'm just positioning the tuners so that all the holes are facing the bridge, so that when I string this guitar up, hopefully today, man, we'll see if my nut comes in. I'm not going to do much more without the nut. When the new replacement nut comes, I will ascertain whether or not I can file that down in such a way where it will angle more. And these tuning pegs are much shorter. So by contrast, it had, oh, Dutchie's gonna bark, man. You gotta protect the house, dude. I am trying to make a video, you know. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna check out, don't talk. This is Ted Talks, not Dutchie Talks anyway. This is a much longer pole piece, and so I think that will also help. So it may be having shorter pole pieces on the machine heads, and also filing the nut when I get it where it's angled down, you know, this way will help get the strings, and so I may be able to get away without having the two string trees. And yeah, man, so I've got a roller string tree. I've got a Fender kind of style string tree I might throw in here. I've got an old Fender string retainer, the round ones. I don't know that those are any better than the metal string trees in terms of frictions. Put in the comment, man, those of you who have those kind of string retainers on your guitars, you know what I mean? It's the round. Let me see if I have one. If I can put my hands on it pretty quickly, I'll do it. There you go. And so that's a road worn one for another project I was working on. And so you'll see in the bottom of it, it's got grooves. And finding those grooves can be a little bit, well, yeah, not enjoyable. And you could put a little bit of lube in there, and I don't know, what do you guys think, man? Is that any better than the metal string tree? I mean, I don't know. I think it has more to do with the angle of things. But the corners of these are the problem. And so there are guys who will file the corners of these metal string trees so that it reduces friction, and you can lube, you know, both of these, and that may help. But I've just generally been I've shifted gears to where I am almost exclusively doing the Fender style rolling string guides. Now, I don't buy them from Fender per se. These are JD Moon off Amazon, but you'll see it's the kind that has the post, and I've made a lot of videos about these, so I'm not going to get into that much. But anyway, I will more than likely put one of these here. It really just depends on how low the strings are as to what I think I will need. So my friends, we need a nut from the UPS guy. So when the nut gets here, I will restring the guitar, and I will begin to set it up and see how things hold up, man. So yeah, it's quite the journey, this little thing we call a TEMU guitar, isn't it? Those of you playing the home game, some of you observe it or not. Maybe you saw this in the unboxing and the under the hood. I didn't mention it, but I did see it. There is a little bit of a gap here where there's more. There's a little bit of a ledge there from the fretboard to the body. But as I said, oh well, I'll show you this too. And there is this situation right here where you've got a pretty good gap between the neck and the body. But like I said, the string alignment was good. The strings were evenly spaced. They were right down the center of the pickup magnets, and so yeah, man, I don't really care what all that looks like if my neck is straight and life is good. And so yeah, if that holds true, I can, when I look down and play, you know, I don't really care about that a whole lot. So yeah, so like I said, man, hey, how does that fretboard look, man? I think it looks pretty good. I mean, I'm not an expert at any of this, clearly. If you watch me more than a minute, you know that. But that being said, man, I do think they turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy about the fingerboard and the frets. And all right, when I get a nut, we'll come back. This guy's back again. Well, hey, I did have one other thought while we're waiting on parts. I did want to mention that I also did round the edges of the frets in the whole process of doing things. I don't think I mentioned that specifically to you, so I just wanted you to do that. This is a Fret Guru file, but you can use any kind of files that you have. And so, you know, man, you can find all kind of guys in tubes that will talk you through doing that. I did not do that, and so I apologize, but I did want you to know that I did do that, and that has contributed to the frets feeling fantastic. If you like this kind of content, why don't you consider liking the video, man? Subscribe to the channel. Come back anytime and hang out at Ted Talks Guitars and Life. And now, let's get back to it. Well, my tripod just broke after I had expertly fixed it once before. Let me get something else. Stand by. Okay, I've got a secondary solution for my tripod. That gravity's a real thing, isn't it? Yeah. Go figure, man. Guitar. If it's your first time doing this, I've got some vids in the playlist where I walk through all this for the benefit of everybody else. Stand by. Okay, so this is where we are. Got all the strings on it, and yes. So my low E is way too low. Oh, well, that could be why. Right there. Alright, we're just not sitting in the slot well. So I will detune and attempt to fix that, and I'll be back. Okay, friends, back with an update. I was gonna clean my area up, and then I thought, man, that wouldn't be my style. Yeah, man, my tripod broke. You like my fancy apparatus anyway? Yeah, well, guess I need to go tripod shopping. But yeah, man, so here's the update for you. So, been quite an adventurous time off camera. So the remains of the day, as you can see, all of the implements of destruction laying around. Yeah, so what did we do? So I had to go back to the original nut. I know, man, I was disappointed too. So the Music Lily nut, although I do believe to be genuine bone and a pretty good looking nut, was too short. I guess, hey, here's something you could put in the comments if you want to do that kind of thing. How do I shim a nut? Is that even possible? Can I put a shim under there and jack that bad boy up just a spell? Man, that would be fabulous if I could do such a thing. And then two, yeah. Whoops, there's my microphone cable. In the shot, what are you doing? Anyway, yeah. So if I could shim that nut, I will. And I may look for a replacement nut. So I started with the Music Lily nut, really too shallow. And then I even tried the old Tease bone nut that I swapped out when I blacked out the ST1. I had that bone laying around. That did not work as well. So I went back to the original plastic nut. I did not even bother filing it, although I may do some of that later. You may or may not be able to ascertain that I went with, good shot of the garbage, the Fender string retainer, man, the circle one. Well, I just had them laying around, and I thought, man, why not? Good enough for Fender. I'll give it a shot. So, yeah, that's what we did there. So we put on the SAPHUE locking tuner. Sorry, guys, I don't know how to pronounce that, man. Put in the string retainer. I did have to shim the neck. I did not use their little piece of bamboo that they had in it originally. I used a 1 degree shim and an additional little piece of basically business card style thing. It was actually part of the cardboard from the Music Lily package. And so got it shimmed up and tuned it up. Neck relief, yep. Set my action the best I could. I still need to dial this in just a little bit more. I just didn't have the heart or the time to put one more shim in this bad boy. Yeah, I just didn't have it in me, man, to shim it. I mean, I've had the neck off probably 6 times. Okay, that's an exaggeration. 4 times. That's an accurate count. attempting to shim this to the exact right degree. And it's always weird, man. You shim and your saddles are too high. You de-shim and your saddles are too low, and you got buzzing and all the things. So she's set up now, but I want to dial it in just a little bit more. The action is decent for me. Again, I'm a thumper. I'm heavy-handed, so my action is always going to be a little bit higher than maybe, yours, depending on what yours is set at. The strings are pretty much aligned with the magnet poles in the pickups. I said pretty much. The placement on the neck is good. She's playing well. She sounds really great. I think I want to shoot this out, man, with the Tease ST1, the pickups, and just see what's happening. Oh, there's Dutch, man. I guess my wife is home. So yeah, from here, the assessment is, do I want to put a pure tone output jack, or is this jack okay? And the only way I'm going to know that is by continuing to play the guitar and, yanking the cable in and out and all that kind of stuff. The pickups sound good. I particularly like the neck. The middle is okay. Not much of a humbucker guy, like I said, on a Strat, but it's there, and so from time to time I do go slide down and rock and roll the situation. Everything else is functioning. I don't know that I need to replace the box switch. I don't know that I need to replace the pots. So now it's just a matter of living with the guitar for a little while, continuing to play it, making further assessment. But yeah, man, we trained it up. She is, so I was walking through that before Dutch freaked out, right? So yeah, tuned it up. Neck relief is right where I want it. The action is just about where I want it. It is intonated completely. And the nut, again, so I need to probably go back in and just fine tune some of this, and you'll see that without the secondary string tree, a few of these strings are really, really high. I don't know if you could see that right there. And then of course the ones under the string retainer are, by contrast, very, very low. Again, guys, man, when you buy a guitar like this, a budget guitar of any stripe, and particularly, a $119 job. By the way, man, I went out to TEMU today, and I got a hey, review the product or something like that. So I attempted to put my review, my YouTube review, and they rejected my review. Said I violated their sacred covenant of whatever. So anyway, I'll have to write them up for that. And I noticed that I went to look, what was I looking for? I was looking for the specs to copy and paste into the description of a video I was working on at the time. And this is listed for $149 now. Okay, guys, I'm just going to tell you the truth. Tell the truth and shame the devil. That's what we do at TED Talks Guitars and Life. $119? Yeah, pretty much all day long worth $119. Now, is it worth $149? No. For $149, I can go to Tease and I can get an ST1. And I've had two of those. Well, one and then two halves of one that I put together, the Franken Tease. It's in the playlist below. They call me Mr. Tease. Nobody calls me Mr. Tease, man. Get over yourself. Anyway, yeah. So for $149, would I do it again? No. Would I do it again for $119? Maybe. That's just because I don't need another S-style guitar. It's a Stratocaster. I don't need another one. So my favorite thing about this guitar is the neck. That's really it. Well, let me back up now. Let me collect my thoughts. I like the neck. I like the pickups. I like the single coils particularly. The humbucker is all right. It's not a bad humbucker. I'm just not a humbucker guy, so I don't really care if it's good or bad. But the single coils sound good, even though they're ceramic, just like on the Tease ST1s. But the neck, man, the neck is almost worth, to me, the $119. And it's thicker than the Tease neck. I don't have one of those fancy neck measuring apparatuses. Hey man, somebody put in the comments, I don't want to buy anything. How do I measure this accurately? I don't know how to do that. So I just go by feel. My buddy Sean, man, plenty of bass, bro. You always talk about the feel, man. Not how does it sound, how does it feel? This neck feels good to me. Even though it's a bit chunkier than the ST1, it feels good. It looks fantastic. And of course the frets are popping because I did that, Jack. Oh man, it's getting late. But no, seriously, man. I dig the neck and I dig the sound. So what did I have to spend, right? I don't know, man. Maybe another player could have lived with those cheesy tuners they had on here. I could not. I think these were $28 tuners. I had the string guide laying around. If I had to buy it, you know, I think it's $6-7 on Amazon. You can get a 2 or 3 pack of these off-brand that I mentioned earlier for probably $8. Set of strings, and that's all I've done to it. So I'm probably in, let's see, 119 with sales was 130-ish, 129 something. So 130, we'll call it 30 for the tuners. That's 160. If you had to buy the string retainer, you know, you're at 168. Pack of strings, probably $1 million Canadian. Shout out J-Bed. Pack of string. I don't know what strings cost, man. I mean, I buy the 3-pack for I think $12. I don't know. So yeah, man. You'd have to spend, even though the guitar lists for $119, $129 shipped to my door in the States. You know, man, I'm then spending, you know, however much that was. I just calculated. I didn't keep track of any of that. But I think we settled somewhere around the 170 mark. Is it worth 170? Nope. I don't think so. As much as I love the neck and as much as I dig the sound of the pickups. Other than that, it's just a plain Jane guitar, man. I don't like the look of the headstock. There's nothing compelling about this to me. In fact, I don't like it. I don't like it not enough, you know, to get rid of the guitar over it. I may get rid of the guitar for other reasons. Clean inventory, whatnot. If anybody wants to buy it, hit me up. Anyway, so yeah, man, that's the deal. I'm set up and ready to go. So I'm going to continue to live with the guitar for a while. I'm going to continue to play it on a daily basis, spend a little time and affection with it, Jack. And then I'm more than likely going to revisit the shim. I'm more than likely going to revisit the nut. I don't want to buy another nut, so if there's any way I can shim or maybe just live with the plastic, I'll do that. It really depends, man. If it goes in and out of tune, or if I can intonate it, it's perfectly intonated right now. Well, as perfect as Ted can get it on my chromatic tuner, my nano pedal. She's, you know, as good as perfectly intonated as I can get without like a strobe tuner or something like that. So yeah, man, she is set up, ready to rock and roll. She plays well. And again, man, maybe we'll come back and we'll do a shootout, man. Maybe we'll shoot this out with the ST1. So this was 119, and the ST1s over at Tease, I think, are running for 144 or something like that. So, you know, is there a $30 difference? You know, if my math holds up, I don't know that it does. You know, I did put locking tuners on the Tease ST1, and I did upgrade the black one to a humbucker. So I could either look at the original ST1, the original electronics on the Franken Tease, and compare the single coils. It has the same exact tuners on it. And I could also look at the black one, the gray blacked out one, and compare the humbucker, although that's not really fair to Tease because it's not a Tease pickup, it's a Music Lily something something. So anyway, guys, man, I really appreciated hanging out with you today. It feels like we've been talking all day just because I've been pausing and stopping and working and recording and all that as I work through things on the guitar today on my Saturday. So anyway, man, I hope something you saw was helpful, or maybe you just dig hanging out with me, man. I really love hanging out with you guys. Thanks for spending some time with me, man. As always, wherever you are in your guitar journey, man, I pray it's a long, smooth, safe, joy-filled ride for you, Jack. Rock on with your best selves, everybody. Catch you down the road.